The vaccine mandate. Here is the president on vaccine mandates in December of last year.
No, I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand to be mandatory, but I would do everything in my power, just like I don't think masks have to be made mandatory nationwide.
Okay. So why is the president doing this now? By the way, if you think you escaped because you are a business under 100, he is now working on the plan that will be released soon for all companies, no matter what size. So you will now have to get the vaccine mandate or you will not work. You will have to get the vaccine mandate or your company will be fined out of business. And that will happen quickly. People like me, the Daily Wire is suing. We will join them. We don't have 100 people working in this company. Blaze is different than the structure of the Daily Wire. Everybody is an independent person that they bring their show independently in and fold it into our spine. So we don't have 100 employees, but we will be affected by this. Once they put the new mandate in, then we have standing. And we will be suing them too, because it will put every business out of business that doesn't comply. And I will not comply. I asked you a year ago, what is your line? And I had a really hard time because they had crossed so many of my lines. But I am very, very clear on this one. I will not comply. When it comes to the vaccine and the mask mandate, you know, you thought you could I'll just get a test once a week. But that means you still have to wear a mask at work all the time. And you're forced to do it. No, I'm not doing it. No. This is my line. I hope it is your line as well. Because if they can do this through OSHA, cutting out everything else, cutting out the entire process, if the president can say, I'm going to reach in and destroy businesses, I'm going to destroy lives, I'm going to destroy jobs, I'm going to make people wear something, and I'm going to make people inject something into their body, you have no freedom. If they can do this, they can do anything. This is the last line. If we allow them to cross this line, there is no freedom left in America. If you think they won't come for you, if you just go along with this, I'm telling you right now, the regulation is coming on how you can spend your money, where you can spend your money. The regulations will come for your speech. It will come for your church. It will come. America, this truly is your last call. So what do you choose to do? You must stand together. You must find the people in your company, and you have to find the companies. We have to find the companies that will stand, and then we have to support them. We have to start gathering together. The people on the border, our border patrol, I know you can't go on strike legally, but boy, it would be surely awful if, because you were having to do the vaccine mandate, if a lot of you started to get sick at the airports. Because you know who will raise hell on that? Business people traveling all around. If all of a sudden your Customs and Border Patrol, I'm sorry, the lines are really long, a lot of people are sick, those business people will raise hell. You need civil disobedience. And it starts with saying, this is my line. I will not cross it. I will lose my job, but I will not lose my freedom. I will not lose the right to choose for my children what they put into their minds and what they put into their bodies. No.
So I respect what you're saying here, and obviously agree this is completely unconstitutional. And we can both agree, I think, that this starts with a legal challenge. That's the first step here. As this goes through, we say no, and we challenge it legally. I talked to Jeremy Boring yesterday on News and Why It Matters. He runs the Daily Wire. They've already filed a suit on this. This is going to happen from dozens of places. They're going to challenge this, and I believe they should win, and I think there's a really good chance they do. Right?
If they don't win, if the Supreme Court, then this really truly ends the constitutional rule and freedom in America.
And we've talked about this before. The OSHA statute is written so broadly. The only thing it requires is that the thing they're asking is, quote, reasonably necessary or appropriate to provide safe or healthful employment or places of employment.
Hey.
Now, you might not think that the vaccine is important, but it doesn't matter when these things are written like this. It just matters if the Biden administration thinks it's
correct,
appropriate.
And the same with global warming, and the same with gun control.
So this could go out of control easily. And hopefully the courts recognize that's ridiculous and overturn it. But let's just live in a world where they don't. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This comes down to the other side. Let's say, I know this does not apply to you right now because you don't have 100 employees and the way the company's structured. But
it will.
I mentioned to you, I talked to a small business owner here in Dallas who's in this situation, has over 100 employees, and doesn't want any part of this. He's vaccinated himself. He runs the company. But he has some of his best employees are unvaccinated and will not get vaccinated.
Okay.
So he's left with this choice of either to fire these people or shut his company down, because you're getting $133,000.
You get your company. You give everybody the day off to go march in front of the state capitol.
Sure.
And you tell every state official and your attorney general, you better stop this in this state.
And we have multiple levels of recourse like that. That's just pushing back, trying to change the law, fight it in court. But at some point, the fine becomes due, and they say, shut your company down, fire your best employees, or comply.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
I don't think it gets to that level, frankly, because I think there's going to be ways around it. But still, if it does, what do you do? They're putting people who are owning businesses and just trying to help people in impossible positions. What do you do in that spot?
Hang on just a second. I've got an attorney general who's just typing. I'm giving him the phone number to call in.
Okay. Well, I think this is a question that hopefully business owners won't need to answer, because I think most likely what you're going to be able to do is not enforce this among your people. And this is not legal advice, by the way. You're not going to have to enforce it. And OSHA does not have the resources to do a nationwide crackdown on every business that is not enforcing this. But it's putting people in an impossible position where they have to take this stand again. People who follow the law every single day, follow every rule, comply all the time.
Here's the thing. Every single generation has to decide if they're going to be free or not. Every generation. Now, we fought for it kind of in the 1960s, that all men should be created equal and we should live by that understanding. But the last time we really had to fight fascism was in the 1930s and 40s. It's our turn. This is going to be tough, but this is our turn.